It is one heck of a record, whichever way you look at it. He's knocked out 24 of his 30 opponents, and that's why he's dreaming of becoming a three-time world heavyweight champion.
This Friday, Anthony Joshua will face what he says is one of the toughest fights of his career. He's taking on a man who holds the world record for the hardest single punch ever recorded. That man's name is Francis Ngannou. This man's name is AJ. Anthony Joshua, with someone, it seems, recording you next to you on the sofa. Are they... you know it's on television. You can just record it off screen. How are you, Anthony? It's nice to see you this morning.
My mum wanted it. My mum wanted it. Good to see you as well.
Oh, is your mum with you?
Your mum?
No, she wanted the video. She wanted the video.
Oh, it's for your mum. I get it.
Yes,
okay.
She wants the side profile as you talk to us on Good Morning Britain. Is mum out there with you?
Not right now, but my whole family will be. There'll be a whole plane full of people coming over shortly.
What's it like for your mum watching you in the ring?
I do ask her. She sometimes actually doesn't show up. She stays behind. She prays a lot. She says she can't really watch her son and she doesn't enjoy it, so sometimes she'll stay behind and pray. But it's tough for her, of course, but she enjoys the fruits of the labour, and I take care of my mum. I love her dearly.
Do you still live with her, Anthony?
Yeah, I still live with mum. Yeah, I still live with my mum.
Why is that? I mean, how old are you now, Anthony?
34.
All right. So what is
No
it?
judgment. No judgment.
No, I'm just curious. I mean, what is it about living with mum that appeals?
So I realised that when I started training, I train away from home a lot. So if I'm away from home for, like, let's say 10 months of the year, and then when I get back, I've got to do commercial work, I realised that if I was to move out, I'd never actually see my mum. I'd never actually see any of my family. So being at home with mum when I get back. So obviously throughout the year, I'm away in different parts of the world. I got places where I can stay, but my actual base, my home, is with mum. So I can still wake up and see her and spend time with her when I can.
That is so lovely.
Isn't it?
That's just like the tender heart of someone who is about to go into a ring
and knock 7 bells over
and try and knock someone out.
Yes.
What a contrast.
Right.
So tell us about Friday, Anthony. What are you expecting?
As I said, it's going to be a tough night's work, but I'm well equipped, well prepared. Throughout the years, I've had my ups, I've had my downs, and I've always been optimistic, had a strong head on my shoulders, and I'm ready for war. I'm ready to go in there and do my job. And hopefully, if I do my job, I will be victorious.
Nobody punches as hard as this guy. He's got a world record strength of punch. I mean, it's like being hit by a van at 50 miles an hour. Does that in any way make you apprehensive? Are you in any way frightened at all when you step into the ring, knowing that if he connects, I would say you'll know about it. Actually, you won't know a thing. You'll be on the canvas.
Exactly. So what have I got to lose at the end of the day? So I've got two options. One, to avoid the punch, or two, to not even know the punch has happened. So it's a win-win either way. If I avoid it,
That's a great attitude. I like that. Can I ask you a question that I like putting to people at the very, very top of their game, like you, like Formula One racing drivers? You guys have a kind of a spark, a drive that the rest of us simply don't. We can't have. What is it that makes you a boxer? What is it that makes you and made you initially want to go into the ring and fight?
Initially, it was about the fitness element. So I looked at fitness from a point of view of, like, my cardiovascular system. Then I realised that I changed my diet, which was really good for me at a young age. I was at that stage where I started to go out partying and clubbing, and I drew back on the partying and clubbing and exchanged that for early nights and waking up early, going running. So I liked the whole element and I also started reading at the time as well, because I read that a lot of fighters were going to training camps and read. So I like the whole element that boxing would give me as a discipline for my mind, for my body, and it helps me till today. So it's not just about being a champion. I looked at it and I thought I could actually be a champion in my life, not just a champion that holds a belt.
All right, well, that's a lifestyle explanation, which I totally buy into. But what about the killer instinct? Where does that come from?
Well, if someone's about to punch your head in, I'm someone that I don't fly, I fight. And I stood in there, I took the blows and I gave some back, and it's just in you or it's not, especially when it comes to boxing. It is tough. The easiest route is to get out of the ring, but the only way out of the ring for me is by fighting through. And I've got it in me to fight through and become victorious.
You see, we're just seeing you there with your opponents, and it's so interesting. You really move in for the kill. I mean, you connect again, you see their knees starting to go, you see them starting to sway, and you can see you going, right, I'm going to finish you off. That's what I mean about the killer instinct.
Yeah, so I can sense an element of weakness in them, and the eye of the tiger comes out. But remember, there's no overtime in boxing, there's no extra time in boxing, so I've got a certain amount of time where I need to take this guy out, and within that time, if I see a small inch of weakness, I'm going to expose them.
Fascinating.
I'm going to be a bit soft now and say I don't like watching it. I find it and, probably a bit like your mum sometimes. I don't like watching it. Was there a point where your mum said, and I say this as a mum, you know, your mum said, please don't do it, I'm worried about you?
Do you know what? Never. Because most of the time I came home, I lost a few, but more times than none I would win. And she could see the excitement in my face, the energy, the lifestyle, the decisions I was making. As I said, I'd wake up, I'll go running, I'll come back, I'll maybe reading, I'll be educating myself. And she could see the benefits away from the gruesome fights. She could see the lifestyle. And that's what she bought into. And that's what I'm still buying into today. So yeah, even though it's tough for her, she can definitely see the benefits. And she can see I'm still healthy. I've taken a few knocks and bumps, but she can see I'm still enjoying it, so she supports me fully.
The one thing you can't fight, no one can fight, is the ageing process. And we've seen, for example, this year, Andy Murray quite clearly coming to the end of his professional career because of age, nothing else. You're 34. How much longer do you think you've got before that becomes a factor?
We'll see after Friday night.
No, but seriously, I mean, are you looking at maybe a 2-year plan, a 3-year plan?
Let's say 3 years. Let's try and get out to 3 years. Still a long time. Still a lot of fights to happen.
Yeah, well, OK. So on Friday, you're up against Francis Ngannou. This is only his second boxing match. He's been a fighter for a long time, but this is his second boxing match. His first was against Tyson Fury. Now, he lost that. The question people want to know the answer to is, when are you going to fight Tyson Fury, AJ?
Oh, it's the question, the golden question. I would say sooner than later. It's in the pipeline. It's been bubbling for a long time. It has to happen. We're with you guys. We're talking about it. It's definitely going to happen sooner than later.
When you say it's in the pipeline, do you mean that conversations have been had about scheduling it, finding a location?
Not in depth like that, but there's a map, for example. Someone will say, these are the checkpoints, and if I can complete these checkpoints, Fury's part of my journey for sure. And I'm sure I'm part of his as well.
OK.
It'll be silly not to.
Yeah. Well, look, you met Tyson's dad, of course, in Riyadh.
Yes.
Does he want to see that fight happen sooner rather than later?
We didn't actually speak on it, but I believe he does, because as someone that's in the fight business, it's just us going to work. It's an opportunity to work, and this is what we do for our livelihood. So I think that he'll more than advise him, listen, get Joshua in the ring. It's a great fight. Let's see who's the best of Great Britain and so on. And for the public, it would be amazing. Yeah,
I love the way you talk about going, you know, when you go to work, you put on gloves. You know, when I go to work, I put on a suit. It couldn't be more different.
Let's swap roles.
Listen, it's about 10:20 in the morning there in Saudi. Sun's well up. Are you going to go out to the pool now, have breakfast by the pool?
No. I wish.
Training. Yes.
Just before we let you go, Anthony, there was a story that you, in order to deal with some of the fallout from not winning, is that you go to a darkness retreat where for 4 days you're in a dark room to decompress and just settle your thoughts. Is that true? Is that something that you would recommend?
Honestly, I'd done it. I had 5 days off, and I just thought, let me just take myself away from the hustle and bustle of life, social media. Even when I'm on my own, I'm still occupied by listening to music and whatever it may be. And just sitting by myself, like you have loads of thoughts, but when it all come down to it was, I need to spend more quality time with my family and have more quality conversations. I'm always in a rush. Everything's rush when I'm at home and when I'm working. So when I settled down for the 4 nights, I realized that, there is a lot of time in the day, so I should really spend more quality time with people And it was, without that experience, I would have just been on holiday somewhere trying to block everyone else out and just focus on myself. But this time I was able to think of everything that's important to me, my family and my close friends, etc. So it was a really good experience.
Well, you're a really interesting guy. It's lovely talking to you. And fingers crossed, thumbs up for Friday.
Yeah, so catch it on DAZN. Friday, it's going down. And I appreciate speaking to you guys. You guys are amazing. Oh. And to everyone out there, I appreciate you as well. Friday, let's go.
Absolutely, let's go.
We appreciate you spending quality time with us, AJ.
Thank you.
All the very best.
Good luck.
Thank you so much. It's live on DAZN, as he says. It's a pay-per-view channel. Knockout chaos. May the best man win. Let's hope that's AJ.